Hey guys, I'm here. It's Darcy, and I'm with my little panda. Speak. Good girl. Let's break some cycles. Super stoked to be talking about this video. It was the most helpful factor, honestly, I think, when stabling out my mindset was learning and having the awareness of certain patterns and cycles I was putting myself in. And then I realized, dang, I have been self-sabotaging so much of my past and my mindset, my perspective on life. And I want to share this with you. Zoom out, be vulnerable, honest with yourself. Do you have any cycles, patterns, tendencies, vices, addictions, habits that you feel are hindering or taking you away from who you really do feel in your heart that you're called to be? And if you feel a little lost right now, that's okay. You don't have to have all the answers, but you have to dig deep and kind of figure out, is something distracting me to a point where this does not feel like my life is how it should be in a healthy measure? Is something distracting me in a negative way? Familiarity, this is honestly I would definitely say it was the most important thing that I learned when I was trying to work through therapy, is that familiarity does not always mean what is healthiest or what's safest for you. Just because you're familiar with something, it doesn't mean it's actually good for you. And the nervous system is adaptive. And if you were raised in an environment or are in an environment that is very chaotic, or you're used to love that is given and then taken, you're used to people that don't really respect you, you're used to abuse, honestly, rather that be mentally, emotionally, or physically, your nervous system can almost start to feel safe in those type of situations because your nervous system then knows what to expect. It's used to chaos. And then as you grow older, you can start to seek that because it feels safe versus being around people or environments or places where you are loved, you are seen, it's peaceful. You no longer have to deal with chaos. It can feel uncomfortable. Something that is so terribly uncomfortable because it is bad for you can feel so ironically comfortable. And I know that dynamic is like, what? But it's true, and it is research proven that some individuals can find a safety net in chaos. So I didn't realize that was happening to me, and it was impacting who I chose to let close to me. And then the same thing would happen each time. But for my sake, it was more the opposite. I was self-sabotaging, but it wasn't really me taking negative actions on people. For me, it was I was choosing to love and surround myself with people that did not respect me. And I knew that from the beginning because they showed the signs. They kept disrespecting me. They were doing patterns to me. And then I would end up getting hurt, and this whole big emotional thing would happen, and now I'm hurt, and I wouldn't feel like I'm enough. And then I would go choose someone that is almost the same. And it was self-sabotaging in a way of I kept choosing people that disrespected me from the beginning. Right? So yeah, I'm treating these people well. I'm not hurting them, but I'm hurting myself. You have a choice of who you choose to surround yourself with. So you can be self-sabotaging in a way of being disrespectful to people that actually love you, or you can be self-sabotaging in a way that's hurting yourself, or both. It depends on the matter. Another one, let me not forget, is toxic relationships. And this could be family members, friends, or romantic relationships. But right now, I'll dive into romantic relationships because research has also proven that they can be addictive to some. The reason being is the hot, cold, the push and pull, give and take. Let me think. Giving love and then taking it back, being super sweet one day, not the next. It can be very addictive to your brain. And that's not real love, it's a manipulation tactic. And if you're used to that, or if that's the dynamic that you watched growing up, you can think that's real, pure, honest love. You can think, it's so intense, and then it's not. You can think it's a love filled with so much passion and chemistry, but in reality, you're just being manipulated, and it's a selfish love because whoever is doing that to you is abusing you. Even if it's not physically, they could be mentally and emotionally abusive, And that's not a selfless love, that's a selfish love. And even if you truly do love them, that person is not healthy for you. I've had to walk away from a couple people like this. Romantically, I've had a couple exes that were like that. And also, I've had some friendships that were like that. And with love, I had to walk away because once I realized the pattern, what they were doing, it's just going to continue. Especially if you communicate, you tell them how you feel, and they keep it up. It's a pattern. That's who they are. And you can lovingly walk away. I know certain situations are more sketchy, more intense. Sometimes you may need to have help walking away, or for safety measures, it might be more deeper. In that case, sometimes professional help is needed. But if you're able to get out and start your healing and go your own way, because someone like that is just going to keep abusing you, and it's a cycle, and you don't deserve that. No one deserves that. And even if that's all you know, even if you think that's real love, you think you deserve to be treated like that. There was a point where I thought it was real love. I thought I deserved to be treated like that until I worked on my mindset, and then I realized no. And it's so funny because after I started to work on my mindset and dive deeper with therapy, it's like who I was attracted to before, like the energy and how they treated me, I'm not attracted to people like that anymore, which is really interesting because now that I am single, it's like I did have a type and now my type is so different, and the values and the morals are so different of who I am attracted to. And it's like once you work on your mindset, it's so funny because your type will probably change, and then you realize, oh, I do deserve someone who respects me, who loves me. I do deserve to be happy. By me working on myself, this not only changed with romantic interest, but with friendships too. My friendship circle has changed. And by working on your mindset, you might go through a period where you may not have that many people around you. Because if you're feeling some type of way, right, and you're surrounded by others that are like that as well, as you start to work on your values, your beliefs on yourselves, your insecurities, your limiting beliefs, you start to grow. And that means you may no longer want to surround yourself with people that you were of your past. Maybe some will come with you on your journey, but some might not, because as you start to respect yourself, you may realize that you deserve to be with people that respect you too, which you do. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It's no judgment here, but if someone's disrespecting you, get out. Go. It don't have to be romantic. And there was a period where I didn't have that many friends because I drifted away from people that I was close with. And I had gotten out of a relationship, and I felt lonely, and I was like, what is happening now? And I realized what I wanted to do to change. And as I started changing, I sat with my emotions. It was hard. Being alone was very uncomfortable, but I had to be alone for a bit to sit with my feelings, to realize what I was doing, to realize what I needed to work on, to practice it, to start to believe it, to get the help I needed. And as I started to love myself, I started to act differently without meaning to. My mindset was different. I started acting differently. I started to navigate through life differently. As I went and lived my own life, I started to meet people that were like me. As you work on yourself, you will start to attract people that align with you in the state that you're in. Even if it takes a while, that's okay. And you don't need a vast circle. It's just people, I call them chosen family, who you trust and you love, and they reciprocate that back. It's a two-sided relationship, friendship, whatever it may be. You'd have to have the courage, though, to be comfortable with going through some alone time. Because that, I know that is when I was so tempted to go back and be sucked back into my cycles and to go back to those people that didn't treat me well. Because there would be moments where I felt, oh, I'm alone, you know how loneliness gets. But then when you realize, wait a second, I'm doing this for a higher purpose. I'm doing this for my future. I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking, how am I going to feel 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now? Do I want to go back? No, that will give me short-term relief. I'll feel happy for a few days and then realize, what have I done? I don't want this anymore. Or do I want to keep going forward? That I kept reminding myself all the time. Short-term relief or long-term? What are you going for? Because that short-term hit is not going to send you in the place where you want to go. But I also did give myself lots of grace and compassion, which please do give yourself grace and compassion. Do not shame yourself in this process of me working on my mind, on my habits, on certain tendencies that I had, certain self-destructive behaviors that I also had. I cannot lie and say that there would be times where I'd go back, or maybe I'd be tested with a situation or a person and I would, cave. And that's okay. Please do not give up just because you find yourself caving. Even if you have a month where maybe you go off the road a little bit, off the rails, and you're just, you think back, oh man, I really slipped up. Don't just shame yourself and guilt yourself and then just say, I give up. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Because in the process of healing, this was for my own journey. It was like up and down and then up, and then I'd be on this high. I'm good now. Broken all my cycles, never going back, and then I'd get it was just a constant wave. And now I'm finally at a place where I've been pretty steady. Occasionally I get tested, but I've been pretty steady. And the thing is, when I do get tested, I am usually able to have the awareness to say, hey, I know what's happening. I know what decision I should make. Now, will I make it? I at least have the awareness to where I know now. Before, there was a time when I didn't really know. Some tough love right now. Stop drinking your own poison. Stop self-sabotaging. Stop self-destructing. I also like to call it a default from how you were raised, your childhood, past, whatever. You might have developed some tendencies that are your default. What are your default? When you strip everything away, what do you run to in times when you're hurting? What thoughts do you think? Are they negative or positive? And I know I have a default. It's people pleasing. I didn't used to have boundaries. All these things I've worked on and thankfully have improved. And that's why my life is very filled with love now, and I'm surrounded by people who respect me. But my default is being a doormat. And sometimes I can find myself pulling back to people-pleasing tendencies. And then I go, stop. It's tempting, but then I realize that's not healthy. It's not coming from a pure place. It's coming from wanting to prove that I'm enough, thinking that love has to be earned when it doesn't. Your childhood can impact your beliefs on yourself. Do you have limiting beliefs on yourself? Do you have a scarcity mindset? And this falls along the category of limiting beliefs are when you feel that you can't accomplish something or you feel that's not possible. It's a negative spectrum of thoughts. This can happen, rather it just be you're telling yourself that, or maybe an insecurity was put in you that someone told you something and now you believe it about yourself. And now you start to live life with that limiting belief, and it starts to grow and expand and dig deeper into all aspects of your life. And now all of a sudden you don't feel enough. You don't feel like you can accomplish certain things, certain goals of yours. And you truly believe your insecurities. And who told you them to begin with? Was it a parent? Was it a friend, a classmate, some random person? Was it just society? You're comparing yourself. Quite a bit of limiting beliefs. You're not born with them. Insecurities. You're not born with them. You start to get them through time. So what really helped me was to write them down on paper. And I wrote down a list. It was a long list. I didn't even realize I had so many limiting beliefs, and it was changing my perspective on myself and life. And then to counter it, I wrote down the opposite, or what is true, or a positive perspective on it. And then I started to practice it. Now, it took me a couple years to truthfully believe it. So this is something that it's okay if it's hard at first. It's okay if you keep reverting back. But writing down your limiting beliefs, writing down your insecurities, and then intentionally trying to counter it with a positive perspective is really helpful. Give yourself some grace, especially if you've been having a negative mindset for years. Like I said, it took me a couple years to thoroughly believe the opposite, and now I finally do, and it's really beautiful. And then you realize, oh my goodness, my brain was operating in a way that where people installed things in there that didn't need to be in there. Have you trapped yourself? Maybe you can't even fathom the idea of living a life that feels fulfilling for you. Maybe you can't even fathom the idea of being surrounded by people who actually care about you. Are you scared of that? Do you fear rejection? Do you fear abandonment? What wounds do you need to work on and process and heal through that will allow you to be open to it? And yes, even then, so you probably are going to get hurt in the future. That's how life is. That's how it is for everyone. But by you walking your path and being in alignment and occasionally getting hurt here and there, that is much more fulfilling, trust me, from my own experience, than living a life where you're stuck in the same loop, stuck in your defaults, constantly getting hit by the same lessons and patterns. It's much more freeing to be walking your path. At least you're moving forward. Going back and forth sometimes, and that's okay, but you're still moving forward. You don't feel stuck. You don't feel chained. You don't feel like a puppet. I used to feel like a puppet. Stop seeking approval of others, because that is a game that will never end. Stop seeking approval to live your own life. Choose you now. We don't got time to waste, man. Let's go. Stop being in denial. Take a reality check. If it takes days to realize these things, if you need to write it down, think about it, just really, even if you narrate your day on paper and you go back and circle, what doesn't feel fulfilling to me? What feels like something I would like to work on? Go back to the basics, man. Unlearn certain limiting beliefs. Unlearn certain insecurities. Go back and unlearn certain facts that you were taught that no longer feel attuned to you. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change your values and your beliefs. You're allowed to change the direction of your life. And just because maybe something was accepted in your family, or maybe you grew up watching a dynamic, or were told this is okay, even though it's clearly not okay, you're allowed to say, I'm done. I'm breaking this cycle. Not only for me, but for my own future. I am breaking the cycle. That just because it's okay in my family, it's not okay to me, so I'm done. I'm free from it. You're free from it. You're allowed to say, I'm free from my past. It's okay. And it's not your fault for your past. It's not your fault if you've been self-sabotaging for years. It's okay. What was happened to you, you did not deserve, and it's not your fault. Don't be angry at your past. I went through a phase where I was mad at my past. I was mad at myself for allowing people to do this, that to me. And I was mad at myself for being a doormat, because I realized, hey, my life could have been so different years ago if I would have started standing up for myself. I started getting bullied when I was in elementary school. I'm about to be 25. It's been a long time. If I would have learned how to speak my voice then, oh my goodness gracious. It's just like, I went through a phase where I was mad at my past, but then you have to try to just process the emotions, validate them, but also realize, hey, your past made you you. It's okay. You didn't know then. You didn't know. So it's not your fault. How is it your fault if you didn't know? You know now. And you're human. We don't know it all. We don't have all the answers. We're always learning every single day. We're always trying to figure out our life, the next step. Just be happy with yourself today. You have the knowledge you have now. And then move forward and give yourself that compassion. And what really helped is, I've seen people do this online, but I did it myself, was I found a picture of me when I was little. I was like, I think 4 years old in this picture, and I look so happy. And when I have moments where I get mad at myself for not changing sooner, or mad at myself for caving, or for having moments or whatever, I just look at that picture and I go, hey, would you be getting mad at this little girl right now? No. And was anything that happened her fault? No. Some empathy. Have some empathy for yourself. And if you're like me, and if you were a people pleaser, I had empathy for everyone but myself, which I will make a video on people pleasing because I would get an A+ in that, which I'm so grateful to finally have broken it. I say no all the time. You get to take your power back at any moment. You can say, hey, I'm done with this. I'm going forward. Start to fall in love with just being alive. God woke you up for a reason. You're alive. Your life is precious. You are here. God woke you up for a reason. You're not done. You're here, and you get to live each day. You get to choose what you want to do. You can change your mind over and over again. There's options. Try something, don't like it, try something else. You are not bound to your own past. You are not bound to decisions you make. You can constantly change your mind, and again, and who cares what people say? You get to take control of your life now. And I think that's just marvelously freeing, truly. And you are enough and just how you are. And there are people out there who will love you for who you are, especially as you start to grow into yourself and feel in alignment. Have the inner confidence to express yourself. You are worth being heard. I wish I would have been different in high school. I wish I would have not wanted to fit in and I would have just been myself. I regret not being myself sooner. And if people laugh at you, whatever. People are always going to judge. People are going to judge you no matter what. If you were silent and didn't say anything, people are going to judge you for being too silent. You have to speak your mind. You have to be yourself. Also, what helped me was thinking back to, what did I dream of when I was a kid? What made me happy? Before society inflicted certain beliefs on me. What used to make me happy? And what dreams did I have and what dreams do I have? And there was a point where I felt a bit too lost to even tell. But then when I really sat with myself, when I was alone, I realized things that have always been in there that I silenced because I wanted to fit in. And then I go, I'm going to start making time to do that again. And if you don't know what makes you happy, great. You get to experiment. Clean slate. All right, let's go experiment. There's so much you can experiment with nowadays. Create your own reality. Create your own identity. Create your own you. This is exciting. It's going to be hard. It's going to feel it might even feel boring at first. Oh, this is something I could get into. When I was stopping my negative patterns, honestly, life felt very boring. Of course, yeah, I had some time for myself alone, but it wasn't just that. It's the fact that those habits I was doing were kind of addictive, and it left me feeling on edge all the time, which is not healthy for your nervous system. But I was always on edge, always wondering what's going to happen next. Even though I knew it would be something bad, I was just so addicted to it and the highs and lows and everything. Versus when I pulled out of that, I go, I'm kind of bored. I'm bored. But then I realized it's not boredom. It's space. It's space. You finally have space. You have free time. You have room. And that's free of distraction, which allows you to now then follow what you feel called to do. It gives you time to work on your goals, time to work on your dreams. If you haven't figured them out yet, okay. Well, let's just get healthy. Let's work on our mindset. Let's work on our body. Let's take care of ourselves, internally and externally. Let's start realizing what dreams maybe I lost when I was younger. Maybe I'll pick up one or two, add more as time goes on. Let me just do something that makes me happy. Let me take myself on a solo day out somewhere that I've been dreaming of. Let me finally do something I've been always wanting to do, but I didn't because I was procrastinating. I was caught up in this loop. Now it's not boredom, it's space. You have room to grow for yourself, and you have room to let in people that actually care about you. You just have to have the patience to give to yourself and others to allow it to happen. It's not something that typically happens like that overnight. It's a bunch of shifting and moving and constant changing, and that's what's uncomfortable too, is changing. but you're worth it. So why not do it for yourself? Otherwise, time goes on. Time keeps going on and on. And when you look back at your past, maybe it feels like, wow, that went by kind of fast. At least for me, it does. So time's going to go on either way. Are you going to spend it doing fulfilling notions, or are you going to spend it just stuck? Because you have the ability to unstick yourself. Time goes by. Life is so preciously fragile. Live. And don't be scared to fail. Life is a collective measure of lessons constantly. And zoom out. It's okay if you try and fail, try again, fail, whatever. Be afraid not to try. Fear not trying. Don't be afraid to try. And don't compare your timeline to others. You are your own individual, your own life. Strip all those negative notions that people have directed at you. Stay in your own lane. And let's kick it. Let's do it. Let's do the dang thing. Now that you have awareness, that will help guide you. Self-control, willpower, courage, bravery, discipline, to help direct you in the direction that you feel attuned to. Now, here's a couple questions that also helped me when reviewing this. Is when you become aware of certain patterns you're creating, right? Once you have your list down, do you find a reason for this? Is there a root? And are you trying to prove something or to change something of your past? And for me, for example, there were some things that happened in the past and I didn't feel like I was enough. So I constantly, as I mentioned, would put myself in positions that constantly proved I'm not enough. I thought if the outcome would be different on one of those situations, then I would finally be enough. It would prove that I am enough. But yeah, it's possible that could have happened. But like I said, I was choosing to be around people that disrespected me. So what do you expect? All of a sudden now they're going to respect you? Probably not. Occasionally, there's exceptions, but let's not do that. This, when I was doing research about psychology, it's something that some people do, is there's something specific that happens to you or happens repetitively over time. Maybe even a parent says you're not enough, you're dumb, whatever, or then is really nice to you, whatever it may be, and now you believe it. Now you believe it and you're acting in ways that validated it. You act in ways that validate what was said to you, or you're trying to prove, yeah, I'm not enough, I am dumb. Or you're trying to prove to yourself, yeah, I am just like my mom or just like my dad. Yeah, I am just like whoever. Yeah, I'm just going to follow in so-and-so's footsteps. Are you following in the footsteps of what you know or what you were shown or what you were taught? These are all questions to ask yourself, and then you may, maybe not, but you may recognize a pattern or a root here that was planted in you or you were shown it. Therefore, free yourself from it. It's okay. That's all you were exposed to. But life doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to keep repeating. Break the cycle. Break your cycle. For me, I did self-care and therapy for months. There are certain addictions that you may need professional help for, but I do have loved ones who have gotten professional help for alcohol abuse and drug addictions, which it is possible. Please do not be afraid to ask for help. Just make sure it's with someone that you trust or somewhere that you trust, even if you have to go to a few different places. Help is possible. Recovery is possible. And especially with technology nowadays, you can get help from your own home. Lots of words, where are they? Virtual appointments are available. That's actually how I got most of my therapy, was virtual. Some in person, but majority was virtual. So help is there, and don't let anyone shame you. Your emotions are valid. Your past is valid. You have to work through emotions to feel them. If you just keep burying them, they're going to remain stuck. So, this is important. Okay. And part of the process of you moving forward, it's okay if your emotions feel a bit haywire for a while. Because when I had awareness of everything I was doing, I became a bit of an emotional mess because I realized all these emotions that I dug deep down, they all started to come out. And I started to process them and work through them. So it was messy for a while. It was messy. I felt a bit bored, and I was alone. What a combo when you're not mentally doing well, right? But the fact that I kept saying, long term, I'm going to break through this. And now I've broken through it. I'm very blessed to have gotten the help that I did. And I just hope that some of my videos can help someone else too. But look, I love you guys. I believe in you. You're not alone. Let's move from the past, okay? And this is tough love. Always giving tough love, but no more procrastinating. No more excuses. You can't say you don't know. All right? Can't say you don't know now. Now you know. Let's work on ourselves. Let's grow. Our future awaits. Time goes by either way. How are you going to spend it? All right? I believe in you. But till next time, till next time. Peace. Let's work on ourselves. Get you a journal. Get you a notebook. All right. Bye, guys. For real, though. I believe in you.